What's your religion?
Christianity, but like I'm not really religious.
Okay. Is there anything religious that your family does?
I don't know if Christmas counts. I feel like everyone does that.
Okay. What are your thoughts on racism and what can be done about it?
I feel like it's low-key still a thing, but I feel like people blow it up into proportion, like, but I'm not trying to get into that because people might fight me. Like, for real. Because I literally hate when people talk about racism because I just haven't really experienced it, so I don't really know, like, how big of a thing it really is. But I don't know. I feel like it's only a thing for guys.
Guys?
Yeah, because, like, in the news, only guys, like, get shot by white policemen, and, like, only guys are, like, a victim to racism in the news, but that's all we hear about. But I don't really know.
I understand.
Yeah.
So who holds the most status in your family and why?
The most status?
Meaning, like, who wears the pants in your house?
What? What do you mean?
Like, okay, so, like, in my house, my dad wears the pants.
Like,
he makes money.
In my immediate family? It's not really like that. Like, we all give each other credit for what we do. Like, my mom and my stepdad are equal. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you define family?
The people who are always there for you the most, no matter what.
That was cute. How do you define success?
Financially and mentally. And not mentally, but like intellectually. Having goals and priorities and achieving your goals.
Okay, and what is considered disrespectful in your family or your culture?
In my family, just disrespectful is just like, well, my family, they're very judgmental. So, like, they're really, really petty too, so they consider a lot of things to be rude. But, like, for me personally, I just think it's rude and, like, people just don't treat you very well, but then they expect you to treat them, like, a certain way, but they treat you, like, really crappy. So, yeah.
Thank you.
That's it? Bye.
Is religion important in your family?
Religion has historically been very important in my family. I am actually one of 14 children from a good old Catholic family. My parents actually had their children in 2 sets, the first set of 7. And since my dad was in the military, he was deployed for quite some time, and then the second set of 7 children. Religion has always been very important in my family. We were always required as a child to, as children, to go to church, and we all attended Catholic schools. My search for a school for my daughter was, within that search, it was important for me to find a Christian school for her.
What are your thoughts on racism and what can be done about it?
I think in terms of racism in any form, one of the major issues is that there's a lack of understanding or interest in learning about the other culture. People oftentimes don't realize it's through learning the other culture and understanding and building an understanding of similarities that we begin to understand and explore and appreciate differences.
Has racism affected you or your family?
Oh, I'm sure
Has racism affected you or your family?
Yes, racism has affected me and my extended family in a number of ways. It's made us understand oftentimes what the perceptions of us are. And the example I'll give is in growing up, being one of 14 children, oftentimes there were thoughts that we were when we were with my mom and many of us were together, there was a perception that there were multiple fathers involved, that she wasn't married, that perhaps we were on welfare. They would never ever believe the reality that we were all from the same two parents. We were all college and graduate school educated. That just seemed to be a perception that seemed to be something that was inconceivable to them. It actually fueled us in a positive way to ensure that we were focused on achieving those things, because people expected less of us, and we were always focused on achieving the most that we could and being the best that we could be.
Who holds the most status in your family?
Who holds the most status in my family? That's a difficult question to answer, actually. If we think in terms of financial status, again, that's a hard one to answer. I have.
Who holds the most status in your family?
That's a difficult question to answer. In terms of educational status, I actually have a few sisters who have PhDs. So I would say educationally they probably have the highest status. That's my eldest sister and my second eldest sister. In terms of financial status, I'm not really sure. We don't necessarily disclose that kind of information.
How do you define family?
I define family in terms of feelings. Not only do I have biological brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and children, but I also have a strong sense of family when it comes to friends that I've had for many years. I have a few friends that I've had for over 30 years.
How do you define success?
I define success in terms of a sense of happiness and satisfaction with who you are, how you are, and what you've achieved.
What is considered disrespectful in your family?
Disrespect, unfortunately, can come in a lot of forms. It's deemed disrespectful not to address someone properly. It's considered disrespectful to go to someone's house and wash your hands in their kitchen as opposed to washing it in the restroom. It's considered disrespectful not to address someone properly or properly greet them.
What is the worst thing about living in the USA? What is the worst thing about living in the United States?
I think the worst is the fact that we have so many cultures in the United States, and with each culture comes a wealth of information and value, and there's got to be a way to appreciate each culture and also benefit from the collective appreciation of those cultures.
Jacqueline,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. Mikey has a few questions he wants to ask you for his sociology class. Are we okay to do that?
We are.
Okay, so one of the questions is Mikey wants to know, is religion important in your family, and in what ways?
Yes. We believe in God. We go to church. We pray regularly. I want my kids to know that there is someone that's a higher power that is on their side, that will save their souls, that will lead them in the right direction, right path in life.
Okay, thank you. What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on racism, and what can be done about it?
It's not something that I'm fond of. It's not something that I like. We don't tolerate it in my household. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that can be done about it. I think that there's too much hatred in the world to fix it at this time.
Has racism affected you or your family?
No.
Okay. Who holds the most status in your family?
I do.
Why?
Because I'm the mom. I'm the head of household. I'm a single mom. Therefore, it's my rules, my way.
Okay. How do you define family?
I think family is more than blood. I think family is friends and people you choose to have close to you. I think defining family by just bloodlines is not the way it goes these days.
So you believe in extended family?
Yes.
Okay. How do you define success?
Well, I'm kind of jaded. I think that I'm pretty successful getting the kids up on time, getting them to school, keeping them alive daily. That works. No, I run the household by myself. I feel that I'm pretty successful. I feel that I work full time. I get them to their after school activities, their school activities, and still we remain sane. So I feel like I'm pretty successful.
Okay. What do you consider disrespectful in your family?
Back talk, eye rolling,
Mm-hmm.
just disrespect altogether.
Okay. What is the worst thing about living in the USA?
I really don't feel that there's anything bad about living in the USA. I think right now there's a lot of hatred in the world, which is sad, and a lot of uneducated people going around, or I guess people not being as educated as they should be or could be. But I really don't feel that our country is bad. I feel like we live in one of the greatest countries there is.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mikey thanks you.
Yay.
Alrighty.